Is the change clear? Actually yes, our Earth is showing clear changes in the climate. According to a study conducted by NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, the average temperature has risen by 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit, 0.8 degrees Celsius, since 1880. The last 2 decades of 20th century had been the hottest in 400 years, and it clearly shows the rate of warming. Moreover, the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, reports that since 1850, among the last 12 years of climate, 11 years have been found the warmest. In another very interesting study published by the multinational Arctic Climate Impact Assessment Report of 2000 and 2004 showed that the average temperatures in western Canada, eastern Russia and Alaska have risen twice the global average temperature. It may seem hypothetical but can be true that by 2040 the ice caps at Arctic may not be seen because it is melting at rapid rate, which can lead to a great threat to the habitation of the polar bears and other species of the region. Studies show that there is rapid melting of the glaciers and mountain snows in the last few decades. To state is more clearly, out of 150-odd glaciers in the Montana's Glacier National Park, only 27 glaciers are left to us since 1910. Furthermore, in the Northern Hemisphere, it is shown that thaws are now a week earlier in spring and freezing about a week later. According to the experts, due to this change, the coral reefs that are very sensitive to small changes in water temperature suffered the worst bleaching because of the stress recorded in 1998. They have added to their conclusion that these events are to increase in frequency and intensity in the next 50 years with the rise in the sea temperature. Wildfires, heat waves and strong tropical storms also attribute in part to climate change. Factor behind it? Yes, burning fossil fuels and deforestation are its chief culprits. Burning of fossil fuels in transport as shown in Figure 2, industrialization and power plants etc., and cutting of forests, known as deforestation, are major contribution. Burning fossil fuels through transport sector. Owing to the excessive combustion of the fossil fuels, carbon dioxide, CO2, and other greenhouse gases are released into the atmosphere, trapping heat and warming the atmosphere. CO2 levels, today, are around 400 parts per million, ppm, that is 40% more than the highest natural level coming from coal and oil in the past 800,000 years, which varies from 180 to 300 parts per million. Since deforestation is worldwide and trees are the major source for absorbing the excessive CO2 from the atmosphere, therefore, concentration of CO2 level in the atmosphere is on the hike, that is allowing the heat to trap by making the atmosphere go warm. Carbon dioxide, or CO2, is the most dangerous greenhouse gas, but we cannot also ignore the contribution of methane gas, which damages the atmosphere equally to CO2. As a matter of fact, methane's damaging percent to the atmosphere is less, as it emits less CO2 than coal. In fact, methane has the potential to undo much of the greenhouse gas benefits if shifted from coal to natural gas. An increase in the methane gas emissions is clear from quick expansion in natural gas development and an aging pipeline infrastructure. Methane emissions require us raising the bar on detection, because whatever cannot be measured cannot be fixed. Low-cost air pollution monitors are needed to be tapped for invention by the tech innovators to detect methane leaks in real time. Emissions of methane alone are not enough to study the cause of major changes in the climate, deforestation and the burning of fossil fuels such as coal. Keeping in view the rapid rate in the climate change, what we need to do is to come forward and learn about the dire consequences of the ecological imbalance and trying hands on recycling and buying local produce.